What's up guys, Musty Hobbit here, and I'd like to welcome you back to Musty's Quest, the search for the top 100 Nintendo and Super Nintendo games. To some of you this may be your first episode of Musty's Quest, and if that's the case, welcome. To those who have recently subscribed, thank you. This has been, I've seen a decent amount of growth in the last couple of weeks, and I would like to thank a few people in particular for putting the word out there. Nintendo Hodge in particular, thank you for the outreach and getting me involved in some other groups that I wouldn't have been a part of if it hadn't been for you asking. So thank you. So I have a pretty Super Nintendo heavy episode for you here today. Going into this, I had 56 of the top 100 Super Nintendo games. And again, these lists are deemed by IGN, was sort of a consensus list that their writers have put together. And I'll link the article that has the entire list on there in the comments below. The big thing I was focusing on this year was getting to 60. And with it being very early in the year, I feel like that's going to be very easy to attain at this point. It's just a matter of what it is that I continue to knock off this list. So going into today, I have 3 new games for the Super Nintendo that I wanted to show off. I also have a couple other little surprises. So we'll just jump right in with the games. Again, the Super Nintendo is a console that I did not have when I was younger. I went straight from NES to Genesis to Sega CD and just kind of circumvented the Super Nintendo entirely. Could have gone back, and I opted not to, and I realized that there's so much good on this system that I really wanted to get to the top games, and so that's kind of where this list came in. So first game that I acquired is a puzzle game, one that also has a version on the NES. It was the only title on that system to have an ESRB rating that had just fired up toward the end of the NES's life. So the edition on the Super Nintendo had one as well, and I have a copy here of Wario's Woods. Like I said, this is a puzzler, kind of in the vein of, almost have it in the vein of like Columns or Dr. Mario or Tetris, sort of a vertical blocks falling matchup type of game. I have not had a chance to play it beyond making sure that it works, but I will be trying to capture some footage, so hopefully I can show a little bit of that to you. So my familiarity with Wario is minimal. I played Super Mario Land 2, 6 Golden Coins. That's kind of the first introduction of Wario as a Nintendo character. Next game up, this is one that I've been looking for quite a while. There is an arcade version of this game and it is one that has quite a lot of popularity. And so that is Turtles in Time. And again, I have popped this in for a little bit. I haven't really had an opportunity to play this or even the arcade. I was always the original Turtles arcade was kind of my focus. And there's a barcade in Iowa City that I frequent that has a original Turtles arcade that I enjoy playing through every time I get down there. But so this will be really my first time with Turtles in Time, and I know that there's a lot of this game is quite popular, and I know that there are a lot of people who have this one very highly ranked when it comes to the Super Nintendo, or even just when it comes to scrolling brawlers in general. So very happy to have acquired Turtles in Time. Both of those purchases came from an individual who I had never dealt with before in the Iowa Retro Gamer Nation, so thank you. Your name is escaping me at the moment, but I will mention it somewhere right here. So thank you. Welcome to the group. I know this is one of your first couple of deals with the Facebook group. So the other game is one that I was working on with Rob. Rob runs NES Depot, as I've mentioned him a few times in the past. And Rob's been really great in looking out for me, trying to find the things that I'm looking for. And so he managed to snag a copy, and this is one of the top 3 games ranking-wise that I still needed to acquire. So I'm very happy to have finally gotten a copy of Mega Man X. And I have the first 4 Mega Man games on the Nintendo. I do not yet have any of the... This is the first of the X series that I have, and really have only played maybe the intro stage. That's pretty much the extent of my knowledge of this game. So I'm quite familiar with that series. I hope to... I know I will be looking for X2 and X3 at some point. They are both on this list, and those are going to be pricier games just based off of what they're going at right now. But thank you, Rob. This makes me extremely happy because this brings me to 59 of that 100 games, which puts me right on, again, the cusp of hitting another goal and getting myself to only overachieve for the rest of the year. So thank you, Rob. You, like I said, have been very helpful here. Another thing that Rob actually helped me out with, if you recall a couple episodes ago, I had acquired a bunch of Nintendo Powers from him at Cedar Rapids Comic-Con. And I realized that the issues that I had yet to have any sort of protection. So Rob actually provided me with the boards and sleeves that he was using for selling the Nintendo Powers that he was selling. And so I have officially bagged up the rest of my Nintendo Power collection. So I thought I would just run through those really quickly, just showing you the covers. As I've already shown you the other half, I figure I might as well knock it out. So just quickly go through these. We have Mortal Kombat 3, we have Yoshi's Island, Killer Instinct, Donkey Kong Land, Kirby's Dream Land 2, NBA Jam Tournament Edition, Mega Man X2. This is the 1995 special issue. This one has Adventures of Batman and Robin on the cover. Earthworm Jim, Donkey Kong Country, Illusion of Gaia, Mortal Kombat 2, Stunt Race FX, and Super Street Fighter 2. And then of the two that I had, or of that grouping, I had two that sort of were standouts for me. One of them is the Mario 3 strategy guide, and then the issue 50, and this is Link's Awakening. So thank you, Rob, again for helping me out with getting that. I definitely wanted to make sure that these had some form of protection, and I have some other things coming that I might be using the sleeves for in a future episode. Two other quick little things, one of which was just a quick thrift find, so I wanted to point out I found a teal Game Boy Color with the battery pack. The battery cover, these tend to be the elusive pieces that always tend to run away. So whenever you find them in thrift shops, if they have that cover, that's certainly something that people are in search of. So happy to have, now this is actually my second teal Game Boy Color. I have a few Game Boy Color games, but I really don't play a lot of handhelds. May change that at some point in the future. The last thing I wanted to show off again was something from Rob. Rob had recently done an upgrade to something in his collection that then was something that became available that I was looking for. And so if you've watched previous episodes, you know that another goal of mine for 2016 is to finish out and complete my Final Fantasy mainline console collection. And so I had posted a tweet last night where I just showed off of this nice little SNES box cover without a whole lot more to it than that. And this actually held the box and manual for Final Fantasy II. And it is front is in good shape. Rob had mentioned that the back had sort of seen a little bit of humidity between it and another box, and unfortunately the other box I think won. But that's okay. I don't really collect for complete in box, so this is a newer thing for me, and so I can deal with a little bit of damage. It's still legible. You can still see the pictures. It's just there's a couple little tears there, but again, if condition becomes a thing for me in the future, then I can always look to seek out an upgrade. But what this will do for me is give my copy of Final Fantasy II a proper resting place, and then again protect it within this this box cover here. So Rob, I would like to thank you for that. I'm going to do that right now. This is immensely helpful. So at this point I have most of what I'm looking for. The things that I am missing are the box for Final Fantasy 1. I am missing the map that comes with this Final Fantasy 2. I don't yet have Final Fantasy 3 at all, and I'm going to be looking for that in April. I'm actually confirmed going to the Midwest Gaming Classic in Milwaukee, and I will be on the hunt for a few things, obviously to help fill out some of these collections I'm working on, but also to try and find a nice companion for this. So again, big thanks to Rob. I know that the copy that you got is in fantastic shape, so congratulations on that. But thank you for being willing to work on helping me achieve some of my goals here too. So I'm going to sort of wrap with that and encourage you to take a look at some of the other series that I have on my channel. The other primary one is the Collection Chronicles, which is where I focus primarily on the original Xbox, but I'm also looking at I've also dabbled a little bit in some Xbox 360 games. I have an Xbox One as well, but I'm just not really picking up a lot of the newest titles just because I can usually find some more sought after Super Nintendo games or Nintendo games instead of picking up a game that maybe 2 years from now is going to be far more affordable for me. So I encourage you to take a look at that. If you have not yet subscribed and you are all interested in what I have to say, I would encourage you to do so. Please give me a like if you like the video, and feel free to leave a comment. Is there a series that you are interested in enough that you would want to have a complete version from start to finish of every game in that series? If so, let's talk about it. Leave a comment for me and we can try to answer everything that you guys post, or at least try to acknowledge it. So again, thanks for coming by. I'm Musty, and you take care of yourself. Be good to each other. Bye now.